I know the title of this video is something that will shock any fan of Warhammer. Anyone who even knows surface level lore of the franchise is probably gasping in outrage at that sentence, but I'm tired of pretending it isn't true. Khorne factions are the most fucking annoying ones to play against in actual games of Warhammer. Let me tell you why. This hatred started in my very first game of Warhammer ever played, where I took a ramshackle force of Aspect Warriors, Wraithguard, and Guardians led by Eldrad against some Khorne Berserkers, some Cultists, and some vehicles that were deleted from existence because the Aspect Warriors were Fire Dragons. Now I had a plan involving deep striking the Wraithguard into exactly the right spot into the game to pincer attack the Berserkers at the right time to annihilate them. This amazing plan went off without a hitch, is what I would like to say happened. Here in reality, the army was just scattered and picked off one by one. My Guardians were butchered, the Wraithguard were disassembled, the jet bikes I bought but forgot about till now because they were so inconsequential did nothing, and Eldrad, to his credit, actually managed to solo a whole squad of the Berserkers for half their number before he was cut down. Though it's Eldrad, so I'm sure he just warped himself away while no one was watching to reveal a hidden virus bomb, the dick. Now you may think this video is just me bitching about not being good at Warhammer and complaining because I got outplayed, but I assure you this is not the case. I am an unparalleled genius at strategy games, and tabletop Warhammer is no exception. I'm like Sun Tzu, only diabetic. Now clearly, this means the problem's with the faction and not myself because I am beyond fault. And do you know what that problem is? Khornates as a sub-faction or whatever you want to consider them as part of the Chaos roster seem almost designed to make whoever plays against them scream with impotent rage. In 8th edition, which is where this game took place, the game has 7 phases in particular, and Khorne armies just ignore 2 of them. The psychic phase just does not exist for these meatheads, and the shooting phase may as well not. A ranged Khorne army is an oxymoron. Emphasis on the moron. So when you show up to the table with an action plan and the units to carry it out, the other player shows up in his or her padded helmet to keep their brain from getting any more damage, throws down some demons or space marines coated in unthin red paint, and chomps down a glue stick before the game starts. You set your pieces up in a way you think is best, meanwhile the Khornate throws them down however the fuck they please because thinking is far beyond them, and then the game starts and you begin your calculations. Which psychic powers are best to break out for the situation? Which gun line should be focusing where? Etc, etc. Then whenever the cornflakes turn is up, they just go, me move piece forward, and move piece forward. The next turn comes and you open fire with a massive blob of weaponry. One of the enemy squad dies because the sheer thickness of Khornate skulls prevents any fatal damage from happening. Then Khorne charges and you sell your Warhammer army because despite your best planning, you've been turned into sliced ham by a team of the super soldier equivalent of high school dropouts who are more steroid than man. Despite the fact that they essentially ignore a third of the game, you've been shit on because Mr. Berserker throws out attacks like they're Halloween candy. In spite of the fact that they don't participate in a solid third of the game, they still win by virtue of being so fucking choppy. They just win, because tactics are for pussies and people who have IQs above room temperature. So in conclusion, if you play Khorne, then I wish you luck, because I'm sure you researched an army to the best of your ability like everyone else, chose them for their lore, and built up an army you love and care for. But also fuck you, I hate you and your army makes me feel inadequate.